Alright, and we're back for the last little bit of Records of Evil. So, you've now figured out how the Shield of Dis works, the amulet that you were seeking. You've acquired a vehicle. What's the plan now? The cult is slowly growing. You still have some big missions. Is there one in particular you want to aim for?
I don't know what would be the next easiest one.
We don't have much information to go on about the girl, except that, like, the ancestor was, D.S. Stone.
Yeah.
Mm.
And you haven't found out a lot about D.S. Stone at all.
No.
Yeah.
If you... I'll say if you did some research, you can find out that, like, records from that time period are sparse. They exist in places, but most of the time you have to go to specific places to look into those records.
Yeah, that's what I remember, basically, you said last time.
Yeah, you kind of have to pull a, God, the genealogist people, is that it? Yeah, the genealogists, how they, like, have to go to places to research things. You kind of have to pull that. Yeah. I think it's genealogist, or I'm just remembering the wrong thing. But I could probably be doing that.
Sounds fine.
I mean, genealogy is correct. I just don't know if... Anyway.
If I'm using it correctly. I don't know either.
Yeah.
So, is there a particular one you want to look for? Well, again, like, it's the girl or the orb right now.
We have a much better idea of where the orb is, because we at least have a last seen as of like 1,000 years ago, or a couple hundred years ago, or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which that was that Waterdeep I said, or Neverwinter?
I think it was Neverwinter.
Okay.
Mm.
It was like taken from Waterdeep to Neverwinter is like the last information we got, or something like that.
Yes. So I mean, you have a vehicle now, so you could drive up to up that way.
Road trip!
Road trip.
We can do road trips now!
Yeah.
And I think you had discussed, because along the way, Baldur's Gate was linked to, you just said her name, and I'm forgetting it already.
Yep, yeah, I blanked.
D.S. Stone?
D.S. Stone.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
connection to, in the past, to Baldur's Gate to her.
That was the little bit of information we had, okay.
Yeah. And so you could stop at Baldur's Gate along the way, because it goes from Baldur's Gate to Waterdeep up to Neverwinter, kind of the highway that goes along the Sword Coast.
Yes.
Because there is an actual highway now. It used to just be like a nice dirt road. Now there's an actual highway. How times have changed.
Yeah.
So I will... What would be the best, devil to leave behind just to keep things running smoothly?
Well, well, well. Great question. Probably a smart one.
Yes. Devils.
Ice devils are smart. Uranuses are smart. Bone devils have enough smarts to them that they could, do a decent. Barb devils aren't awful. But all the ones, the rest of them are kinda dumb.
Bearded devils are dumb.
Yeah.
Pain devils are average.
Yeah, barb devils are the probably best next thing that you could do. They are very few are very, like, humanoid in general. Like, the only one that you could maybe pass off is the Uranus, but you'd have to make a deal with them.
Uh-huh. I might actually do that. Well, I'm guessing I have to buy some rubies. Oh no, rubies was for reconstruction, not sacrifice. Okay.
Yeah.
Deal. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think Uranus would be the best for the sake of just keeping people comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Check out Olos. But yeah, I'll probably...
Would you think that you would want to summon just one then, for now? Or maybe...
Yes. I think one would be fine of an Uranus to keep things in check.
Okay. Alright, so you'll go about the ritual, and similar to before, like, your apartment will be filled with kind of black light, as rather than this time, this kind of small, halfling-sized, winged creature with spines, a, massive, female figure in full plate of black armor with all these kind of, like, spines on it, and a stylized helm that almost kind of looks like some kind of devilish or fiendish visage. Massive black and red wings on her back. Carrying a kind of like rope at her one side, hooked to her armor that glows with this blue, and a black blade on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Dawn would be so into this.
She removes her helmet upon being summoned, and kind of looks to you. She is incredibly beautiful. A striking woman with this kind of just jet black hair. That's kind of tied up into this, like, number of, like, braids. Well.
Hello.
Why have you brought me here, mortal?
Well, I am seeking aid to keep the cult of Asmodeus running smoothly while its leaders are out running important errands. And I'm wondering if you would be willing to take up that role.
A leader of a cult, while its mortal leaders are off doing business, that is within my purview. But why would I need to do such? What would it be in for me, in this case?
I would know what do Uranus's even like?
They are like matrons of battle. Corrupting celestials is a big thing on their end. Well, they don't mind being mistaken for celestials to corrupt and conquest. They're all about corruption and conquest.
Yeah.
So they are warriors through and through.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Uranus's were angels that are corrupted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, conquest and corruption. Okay.
Like, Uranus is probably the worst thing to summon if you were the rogue, because, you know...
Oh.
They would.
They bring
would
swift
probably
death to
just stab
creatures
you.
that have wronged their masters or defied the edicts of Asmodeus.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
Hmm. I would have thought about this beforehand, so
Yes, I understand.
yeah.
You really didn't have time to, like, your character would have had, like, a good amount of time thinking about this while you're like, I have a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Well, you have, like, a couple of directions you could probably take this. Some kind of treasure, some kind of monetary. Probably those two won't really work. Maybe depending on what it is. Souls,
Yeah, that would have...
hard to accomplish for you guys.
True. We're not quite at a point where we have a cult that's willing to just throw themselves onto daggers.
Yeah.
We're not probably big enough yet.
Some kind of glory of battle, the chance to corrupt something, maybe.
I'm looking more thinking about the chance to corrupt, and that is where I think the best option is here.
Mm-hmm.
Just because the whole idea of the cult is to...
Yeah. Is there anyone in the cult that's kind of, like, pretty a decent human being? Or being, rather?
Currently?
Just let her corrupt them!
Not really. Not in your current cult. You have you guys who aren't really, like, decent beings. You have the serial killer crew who are really not decent human beings. And then you have, like, the poor and the scum. And the poor are, like, easily corruptible. So they're already, like, corrupted by you guys.
I know someone.
Ooh, who?
It is... What was that elf?
Oh.
Oh!
I
He's
have
like
find it in my notes.
super religious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have his name written down. Does anyone else?
The Dawn. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably somewhere in my notes, but my notes are, like, have gotten so many that it's hard to, like, notice some of them, and I totally do not remember where I put the Dawn's name on here. Wait, here we go. Dawn Ferzo T-Seed.
There he is.
I had it sideways on my notes rather than normal upright. I don't know why.
Well, perhaps we can give you an opportunity to have a little fun. We have an acquaintance who is quite religious.
Please make me a persuasion check. Because you got to be diplomatic now.
Oh gosh, why am I always the one who has to do this?
I mean, someone else could like chime in or assist you or something. You're all there.
Yeah, I have one whole charisma.
I have no charisma, so you can...
I could help. I know the Dawn the best.
It's true.
I guess if you want to roll it one more time and have some advantage, we can see if you would roll better than that. That was a pretty good roll. You did not.
15.
Okay, nope.
Alright, maybe there will be some opportunities in this land. It's been a long time since many of our kind have walked. Very few, if not hidden. I guess I will use your base of operation as my own, and lord over this cult.
Temporarily.
Yes. Temporarily.
Very good. Thank you. We shall, And
should I stay here with her, or go with you guys?
yeah, probably slightly later. What do you think is a better idea? Someone to keep track of her, or someone to communicate with us?
Yeah,
I think keep track of her. As
yeah.
much as what, you know, I'm always like, devils always have their own motives. They always do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes me a little nervous. Leaving her in charge alone. At least if something goes wrong, Zirin could text us.
Yeah.
She's now currently in the kitchen investigating everything you have in there. She's just
That's
taking a
fine.
look around the place, investigating things.
Yep.
Do not break the television or the coffee machine.
Or the coffee machine, yeah. Don't.
Yeah.
You can have stuff, but don't break it.
And we'll show her how to make coffee.
Ah. Black and swill. Ugh. I like it. The darkness of my heart.
I mean, you can put sugar in it.
Yeah. No.
Sweet purity? Never.
I mean, is it purity? Apparently, according to studies, it's an addictive substance. I know they're finding out so much.
Perhaps I could. And they sell this everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, everyone is drinking it all the time.
Like the kingdoms of old. Let the powders flow, and the minds of the weak be corrupted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much what coffee is. Yeah.
It
Well,
sounds
it's
more like
entirely
she wants to
fun.
use sugar to like do like drug deals now.
There are better substances than that, but...
But it's illegal.
I mean, if you can tell other people it's something else and then give them the sugar, you'll make a profit.
Petty
like you,
lies
but don't-
are unneeded. The hearts of many are easily corrupted.
She's not wrong.
Sometimes disguise and deception is needed. But as long as you're not truly telling a lie, and merely just
Twisting the truth.
twisting the truth. It is the way of hell.
So yeah. There'll probably be a point where... Yeah. So, how are we gonna go about this? Because, you know, I mentioned the Don is like someone who'd be fun to corrupt.
Oh, yeah.
So we'd probably have to introduce them before we go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can always text them and be like, hey, I found a very attractive woman who may be interested in you for, another wife.
Yeah. It's perfect. And also, maybe he'd stop trying to talk to us. Perfect.
He's got money, I don't mind the chatter.
But is he giving us that money?
Well,
He's only taking us to restaurants, so that only works for silver.
mm,
I do like going to the cinema, though.
Right. That was a good.
Radar. God, I probably spelled that so incorrectly.
Ugh.
Uh,
So pretty much the same as everything on my sheet.
yeah. Yeah. That's true. I am...
that's the one really bad thing about living in a world with autocorrect.
mhm.
The spelling gets real sloppy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So she is called, Karya? And her title is... Gotta get the proper title here. I gotta see where that list is here. Harpy of the Fifth.
Ooh.
So, and it's spelled C-A-H-R-I-R-A.
C-A-A...
I'll put it in chat.
H-R-I... what A?
Cardia.
Oh, alright, R-A.
Cardia.
Alright, R-A.
You can probably give me a religious check from that, or religion check from that if you want to know more about that title, probably.
Let's see if I stop rolling shit on religion for once.
Yeah, it may happen one of these days. Personally, have my doubts, but you don't remember off the top of your head.
I have a +4, and I still, like, barely roll above a 12 most of the time.
Can I maybe try?
I mean, anybody could try if you're interested in thinking about it. But, you know... You can...
Sure, mostly because she's an attractive woman.
Okay.
Hilarious by religion.
Well,
How did I roll that with a 2?
Mishka and Therzi will remember from their, like, cult lessons that it is, she's most likely from Stygia.
Oh, okay.
A realm of Levistus. It's one of the frozen realms. I will give you with that kind of roll that the Iranuses of Stygia are technically in service to Levistus, but as much as they are in service to Levistus, they also count as some of the guards of Levistus. Because Levistus is a devil lord, devil prince that rules Stygia from a prison. There's a literal glacier which he's in the center of, that he's been imprisoned there by Asmodeus for all time. And he uses his telepathy to communicate with those around them that are said to serve him.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was basically screwed over Asmodeus. Asmodeus froze him there, and then later he's all like, "Hey, you wanna rule?" And he's like, "Sure." And he's like, "Cool."
And no one
Deal
knows.
made.
Yeah. No one knows
Now
why
you-
Asmodeus put him in charge, but Asmodeus just did.
Yeah.
You know, maybe like,
Yeah.
even though he betrayed him, maybe an old favor, maybe like, whim.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, part of it is also he thought he was going to be released to rule, but no, he just left him frozen there and just gave him telepathy and the power.
Yeah, he just commands everybody with their mind. So yeah, that's why the Iranuses of Stygia technically both serve Levistus, but they also are like his jailers to make sure that he doesn't escape. So
Moderately ranked one then.
yeah. Well, Iranuses tend to be like, you know, in that position anyway. And murdery.
Yeah.
You know, the entire like, you know, warrior devils. Murdery.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that's why I figure like they also are kind of more warrior-y, so they're probably some of them are probably more on the warrior side, some of them are on the guarding side.
But anyway, you're not sure which one she's on. Why don't we
Probably
actu-
I will say one thing though. We
Uh-huh.
spend some time showing her how the amenities of modern world work.
She like lays her
Introduce
like
to...
she like unhooks this like massive black bow and puts it on the like leans it up against the one wall. Her huge like black like long sword, which just seems to constantly be like have this like almost greenish aura, just kind of like just kind of floats around it. You know. She just like can use the whip to like just like the rope and like has it like go out and grab things and bring it back for her.
Oh, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, so and then probably next time we'll introduce you to the Dawn before leaving. I don't know if you want us to roleplay that, or we could just say we
We'll
did
just
it.
say that you arranged for some things, because she's got her own ideas how things are going to go while you're gone. Let me just put it that way.
That's fair, and that's why we should definitely leave.
Because I mean, the Dawn goes to this nice church
Zero.
where there's also all these nice religious people of seemingly weak mind.
Yep. No, I'll be honest. Free game, go for it.
Anyway,
I mean, the one downside of this is it might bring us a little hate from the church, but I'm not overly worried. Unless Celestials start coming to the church and start trying to get involved, which is possible.
there was this entire thing called Celestial Crusade that was on its way that probably would attack the church because it's a universal religion church rather than, you know...
That's actually the fun thing about it is oh my gosh, if that happens while we're gone and it happens like in Calimport, the Earnest can probably get a lot of people to convert by defending them. To Asmodeus by defending them.
Anyway, I think that's a pretty good place to leave it while you're, like, planning your road trip up north, because we can kind of, like, go over a few details, like, in between sessions of, like, what your exact plans is for heading to the north, and then we can kind of just go over the bases when we start next time, and, you know, see. So the plan is to head up towards Baldur's Gate, and then, up to you if you want to stop at Waterdeep. You know there is that connection as it was in Waterdeep at one point in time, but really...
It'd be important to stop there and at least do some digging.
And then finally head up to Neverwinter, which is like... I don't know, could we call that like Quebec? Kind of? Like the kind of environment that it like has very harsh winters, and then like, you know, cool... because it's, I thought Neverwinter was very wintry.
It is very wintry.
Yeah. But I didn't think, like, all year. I have to remember.
Oh, no, I think it's not, so it's not the far north, I forget what that's called.
Yeah.
Because it's right below that point. Like, there's, like... It
still has seasons. So, sort of.
Yeah. It's definitely more of like that main kind of like, you know, chilly, but still has seasons. But with harsh winters.
Yeah. Anyway.
I mean, if it was always winter, it wouldn't be called Neverwinter. Although, to be fair, there are a lot of things that are named ironically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say. It's like Greenland and Iceland.
Yeah.
Greenland's green, Iceland's green, Greenland's for ice.
Even Greenland and Iceland being slightly green, it's still also icy a lot too. It's the greener of the two, and you know, all the Vikings wanted to keep it to themselves. Oh, don't visit Iceland. It's terrible. Go to Greenland. It's wonderful. Anyway.
Actually, I heard the reason Greenland got its name is because we can talk about this after. Let's do outros.
Let's do outros. We're getting distracted here. But yeah, so there's a good point to leave it. Let's do some outros. We'll be back hopefully next week. We'll continue this where they'll be heading farther north. Once again, on a trip in their van. In their tan van. That you have your Scooby van. It's the culty machine.
We're gonna do crimes in it. I don't know. I can't solve mysteries, so we're gonna do crimes.
Crimes.
It's crime time. Anyway, let's have some go around. We'll go the opposite direction of where we went in. So we'll start with Worm.
Hello, I am Diamond Worm. You can find me on twitch.tv/DiamondWorm or @DiamondWorm on Twitter. I will actually be streaming on Fridays most of the time now, as things have started back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can also find me here on Tuesdays.
We'll go to Jinx.
I am Jigstrams on Twitch and Twitter. I might be streaming tonight because I didn't stream this weekend. I make no promises. But I usually stream on weekends.
And then Jess.
I am Bubblegum Viking, and I'll be back in like an hour.
Yep.
I will as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
So for myself, Tensnarv and Dracovin, yes, we'll be back in about an hour where Jess, Worm, and Carpe will be joining me as a team of vampires for Legacies of the Came. We'll be back around 2 for that one. If you're looking for more stuff, if you're looking for more D&D, I have a D&D meets Magic the Gathering game on Thursdays at 8 p.m. EST. It's just set in the Magic the Gathering world of Dominaria, and it's D&D, so if you want to do that. If you're looking forward to other games than that, Grinding Gears, the game on this channel, is theoretically going to more of a weekly schedule than bi-weekly, and that's going to be on Sunday, 7 p.m. EST. We're going to be running that. That's a channel on this channel, but I'm a player. If you're looking forward to other stuff, my gaming streams have kind of been on hold just because I got really fed up with RimWorld after the last time because robot bases are the dick in RimWorld. I'm just going to say that and leave it at that. So I've been kind of like on hold before I figure out what I'm going to be putting on gaming stream because I was hoping to go a couple more, sessions of that, and then with that kind of going away, that's why I haven't been doing a lot. But I'll hopefully do some tomorrow, and I figure out something. And that's about it, though, for this channel. So hopefully you'll be back in an hour for Legacies of Kain, and if not, for the various other games, we're back next week for the same time, same place for this game, where more evil adventures in a modern-day favorite setting will continue. So thank you, those of you out there who joined us today. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll hopefully see you next time. Goodbye!